Hey girls, it is day one of my free 4-day video training series, Align and Glow, and I am so excited to get started with this. But I do, however, just need a little moment. I'm going to take this live video, I'm going to share it with my Soul Savvy tribe. I'm going to invite a few of you girls on if it will give me the option to. And I've just decided just a second ago that I am gonna share this live on Instagram as well. So if you are watching me live, please just bear with me just a second. And if you are watching this on the replay, just say hey, let me know if you're on live, drop a comment down below. I'm just gonna take a couple of seconds to share this video with all the right people, and then we will jump in to today's training, girls, which is all about stepping into your higher power. So over the next 4 days, we are going to be covering a lot. These are the transformation principles that I teach my exclusive one-to-one clients, and I'm sharing them here with you as well. So I can't see. Let's see if I can share this. Just 1 second. Thank you for your patience. Share to group. And I'll see if I can get some of you on with me now, girls. And I'm also, like I said, gonna do this live on Instagram as well, as I know there's a lot of you girls over on there as well. So just bear with me 1 second. If you are on live, say hey. And if you are watching the replay, feel free to skip this for a little minute. Hey, Mika. So I'm just sharing this live training out across my different places so that we can get as many of you on joining as possible. So do just bear with me 1 second. Share that here. Feel free as well, by the way, if you are watching this live or even on the replay, if you feel like this would really benefit somebody who you know, the training that I'm going to share today, let's share it with as many people as possible. Let's get these positive vibes and messages out there. Girls, I really hope that you take some huge value away from today's training. I'm really going to be teaching you the exact principles of how I transform my life over a 2-year period and how I help my clients transform their lives as well. Something that I really, really do encourage for my clients is teaching them how to step into their higher power, which is huge. It's what changed everything for me. It's what changes everything for them. So yes, you do have a higher power, a highest self that you can access, girls. And in this training, I'm going to teach you how. So, hey, Mika, hey, Victoria, a couple of you on. Please do share this live training with anybody who you think it might benefit. Just give me a second because I've just decided last minute that I'm going to do this live on Instagram as well. And I've not done a live on Instagram before, so I'm hoping this works out okay. Where do I do it? Where do I even go live? Oh, I know. Here we go. Right, let's turn this around. Ah! Excited. We're across all different platforms here. So, girls, let me just check actually. Hey, Instagram, I am live. Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi. Hey, Instagram. So I am live on Instagram and Facebook right now. This is day one of my 4-day free training series. Today is all about stepping into your higher power. So I'm gonna look this way because most of my girls are on Facebook. However, if you are joining me on Instagram, I'll keep an eye on the comments as well. So do drop any comments anywhere, girls, in the comments box below. And if I see them come through and I've got time for questions and answers at the end, I will, of course, answer them then. So, girls, let's talk. Let's just jump right in. Let's talk right now about your higher power. What is this higher power that I always speak of? Okay, so to put it simply, you have two of you, and you probably know this. Think about the thoughts that you think in your mind. You've got like an angel and a devil inside, or there's this part of you that knows what's good for you, but then you always seem to get pulled off track by another part inside of you as well. So there's always this kind of internal struggle going on inside. This is what I like to think of as the battle between your, hey everyone on Instagram, join in. If you've got any comments for me, drop them in the comments. This is the internal battle that we face every single day between our ego selves and our highest self. So what I'm going to do right now as to start off this training is to start describing to you the difference between your ego self and your highest self. And then you take from it what you need to take from it. And you'll be able to tell the difference between the two. So girls, your ego self is your inner critic. It's the person who is always putting yourself down inside your head, always saying that, you know, you're not good enough, people are going to laugh at you, what's everybody going to think of me, etc., etc. And hi from Crosby. I love that. Your ego self lives in fear. Your ego self is a victim. Your ego self puts blame on everything and everyone around you. Your ego self believes everything in this life has to be hard. It has to be a struggle. Your ego self focuses on lack. It focuses on scarcity. It believes there is never enough. You know, it's that type of mentality that there's not enough for everyone to go around. That is your ego self. And your ego self can be the angry version of yourself, the jealous version of yourself, the resentful version of yourself. And the ego self believes that it is separate from everyone and everything and feels alone and feels fearful and scared. And it's very like withdrawn type of energy. So that is your ego self. Now you can all probably note it as I'm talking about this. You can all probably identify with a time that you are operating out of this ego self mindset. Like I say, it's always there. So it can happen at any point of the day. The ego self can take hold and we can get into a bit of a spin over something, lose control over our thoughts and really believe that, like, you know, our world is closing in around us. That is the ego self. It's completely run off fear. It makes us fear things and it keeps us stuck in that fear-based mindset, stuck exactly where we are. So that is your ego self. Now your higher self is the complete opposite to that. Okay, and in this training, what I really want to share with you today is how to strengthen your relationship with your highest self, your higher power, the place inside of you, the point inside of you that knows that none of that stuff that the ego tells us is true. It's the part inside of us that knows that actually we are limitless here. On this planet, you know, it's the part inside of us that connects to love, forgiveness, gratitude, peace, happiness, all of those amazing feelings. Hey Leslie, thanks for joining. So yeah, your higher self, trust, it's trusting, it's forgiving, it's loving, it's gratitude, it's happiness, it's limitless, it's connection, it's joy, it's all of those amazing feelings that we love to feel. But the ego sort of, if we allow it to, the ego always seems to win. So the ego will always take hold naturally. We have to actually physically put the effort in to strengthen the relationship with our highest self, with our highest power. We actually have to cultivate that relationship with ourselves, because if we don't, the ego will take hold. So it does take a bit of effort, it takes a bit of work, but the results are more than worth the effort, girls. So I would highly recommend it. So I'm just going to check on here who is joining. Hey everyone, do drop any comments, whether you are on Facebook or on Instagram. I'm across a couple of platforms right now, so please, if you've got any comments at all, drop them in the comments box and I will see if I can answer them as I go. So the whole point of this training, girls, is for you to understand the difference between your ego self and your higher self. And what I really want to teach you how to do today is how to strengthen your relationship with your highest self. Because that is what I like to call stepping into your higher power. Now, before I strengthen my relationship with my highest self, I spent a lot of years living in that ego place. So I was living in fear, I was living in lack, I felt separate from everybody else. I was a victim of my own circumstances. I was placing blame on other people. I was, clinging so far onto a life that was not in alignment with me and my highest vision. And I was clinging onto it so tightly because I was so scared of, life never giving me anything better than what I had. So if you can resonate with any of this at all, do please let me know in the comments. Maybe you're clinging onto something right now that you need to let go of. It could be a job, a career, a relationship, a friendship, anything at all. I know you can definitely resonate right now with something that you are clinging onto that doesn't serve you, and you are clinging onto it out of fear of nothing better coming along and taking its place. Now, that is the ego self, okay? So just recognize that that is the ego self. And your highest self would know deep down, actually, I can be, do, or have anything that I desire to be in this world. My opportunities are limitless. I don't need to fear anything like that. And if you cultivate this relationship with your highest self, then you will become braver and more fearless in order to, quieten down the ego and actually step forwards confidently and courageously in the direction of your dreams, like whatever that is for you. So, by the way, just so you all know, and I talk about this a lot, Leslie. Oh, hey, Leslie. So I talk about this a lot, a million times across all of my trainings. And so I'm not going to actually go into a lot of this today. But what you do to cultivate the relationship with your highest self is, first of all, it takes effort, it takes action on your part. So how I cultivate a relationship with my highest self is my daily rituals. So for me, it's meditation. For me, it's surrounding myself with good intention people who are on my vibe, people who believe in all of this stuff with me. It's flooding my mind with positivity. So cutting out any rubbish, not watching toxic TV or anything like that, reading really positive, empowering books. And yet really taking the time in every single day to flood my brain with all of this positivity. People say to me sometimes, oh, you're so positive, you're so inspiring, you're so this, you're so that. It takes work, people. If you'd have known me 2 years ago, you wouldn't be saying any of this. I was such a smaller version of myself, which many of you could be in that position right now. I was fearful. I was hiding behind in the shadows. I was scared of my own light. I was scared of living my actual dream, which sounds crazy now, but it could be where a lot of you girls are, which is why I'm sharing this training today. So yeah, like I said, you want to focus on strengthening your relationship with your higher self, which is going to take work, by the way, girls. So commit to carving out time in your day to connect with that inner part of you, to connect with the part of you that knows deep down that, you are limitless. The world is full of opportunity for you. You are connected to everything. Get grateful. Gratitude changes everything. Start being more trusting and just live in the present moment. The ego wants us to dwell on the past and the ego wants us to fear the future. Don't do that. Just live in the present moment. Take each day as it comes. So the best way I can describe your highest self is, think of a newborn baby. When a baby comes out into this world, the baby is just so full of love, joy, light. The baby doesn't have this ego self yet that is its own inner critic, that is fearful, that acts like a victim, that gets angry, jealous, all of these things. The baby is just pure joy, love, and light. So, you came into this world a bundle of joy, love, and light. And at some point, the inner critic, the ego self started to take over. So, the aim of this is to get back to what you already were when you were born. You have it there. You have access to this higher power. You have access to all of this. You just need to cultivate that relationship with it, and strengthen it so that you can start living from a place of trust. And you're naturally just developing confidence and courage then, because you begin to realize, actually, the ego is chatting absolute rubbish. I am always supported. I am always guided. I am fully safe in this universe. And actually, I get to create my destiny. And I get to be the creator of that. And how exciting is that? So first things first is to strengthen your relationship with your higher self. Now, secondly, let me just see where notes out here so as I don't miss anything out. Do let me know as well if, what are you saying, Victoria? Let me see some questions coming through or comments. I've been there and I clung on to my job so much, but I know it's not in alignment with my higher self. Exactly. So by the way, anything that you feel on the inside is pulling you somewhere to a different place, or you're feeling like you're called to go in a new direction or to do something different with your life, just know that's not random. That vision has been given to you for a reason, because it's connected to your passion, it's connected to your purpose. It is who you are at your true core. Anything else around that is maybe the ego self version of you that you've built up just to fit in, just to do what everybody else is doing. And I know I did that myself as well. I might as well just touch on that now. For those of you who aren't aware of maybe my backstory or who I am or where I've come from, before going into all of this coaching and doing what I like to consider my soul purpose, which is to inspire and light people up and show people that it's possible for them to live their dream. That is what I believe is my soul purpose. It's what I believe I was sent here down on this earth to do. And before doing that, I was just a regular girl with a career as a building surveyor, doing the usual stuff that everybody else is doing, going to college, going to university, getting the job, doing everything that I thought that I was supposed to do in order to be deemed successful, in order to gain happiness. I was just on that conveyor belt of life, just like following along with everybody else, except deep down, there was this huge part of me, and this is where the internal sort of tug of war comes in, because my ego self was telling me, you have to get a job, get a career, stay in the relationship that you're in, do all of these things because that's the best that you're going to get. That was my ego self. Those were the choices that my ego was making on behalf of me, and I just followed. Whereas there was always this other part inside of me, which is my higher self, which was always whispering the different things to me. So it would be like, no, like, you're here to do great things in the world. You're here to make an impact. That there's so much more that you're capable of achieving, and you're limiting yourself by the circumstances that you're currently in. And so for a lot of years, girls, I found myself in a battle, which maybe you can resonate with. I found myself in a battle between my highest self and my ego. And for so many years, my ego won that battle. And I stayed in fear. I stayed in the career that I was unhappy in. I stayed in friendships and relationships and groups of people that were not in alignment with the highest vision for myself, just because I was so scared of nothing better coming along. I was so scared of nothing coming to take its place. And I was so scared of actually doing all the stuff that I'm doing now and revealing my true self to the world. So, and I know that a lot of people who follow me or have found me definitely resonate with this, because the chances are, if you are watching this training and you are gaining a lot of insight from it, the chances are that right now you've built up a life that is quite comfortable, but it's not lighting you up. It's not fulfilling you in the sense of you've got any real purpose or meaning with that life. And it's probably because that you've allowed, the ego, or you've settled for making decisions based on your ego self all of this time. So what I want to talk about right now is for any of you who are maybe at this crossroads, who are feeling pulled to go in a new direction, but also petrified of taking that leap and going into the new direction. This is the exact tug of war I'm talking about between the ego and the highest self. So the first thing you want to do is start cultivating that relationship with your highest self. Because when you do that and when you strengthen that, it's going to make the journey a lot easier for you. You're going to start to trust a lot more, and you're going to start to flow. If you are lacking clarity on your direction, your purpose, your mission in life right now, the reason you are more than likely lacking clarity right now, girls, is because you are still so desperately clinging on to a life, to a version of you that doesn't serve you anymore. And so what I want to walk you through now in today's training is how to make space. We have to make space for the new you to emerge. How do you know what you should be doing instead? I'm going to go over that right now. So you have to make space for the new you to emerge. I want you to imagine or take stock right now of all the decisions that you've made in your life right now. So, the job that you're in, the relationship that you're in, the friends that you're surrounded by, and the thoughts that you think, the habits that you have day to day, the type of food that you eat, absolutely everything. And pay attention to the decisions that you think that you've made out of fear. What are you clinging onto when really you should let that go? Because anything that you are clinging onto out of fear is taking up all the space for this newest version of you to emerge. So, for example, I was clinging on to like a career, a relationship, friends, absolutely everything. Anybody who has met me in person and had a conversation with me will know that I had a complete life detox about 2 years ago. And it was the scariest, toughest thing I've ever done. However, it was also the best thing that I've ever done, because then I made space for the new me to emerge, and for all amazing new connections to flood in, and for my new life to start coming to me, around me. Oh, hey, Geraldine. Hope you're good. So what I want you to do right now is think about anything in your life right now that you need to let go of, that you are clinging onto out of fear. Be really honest with yourself. What am I clinging onto out of fear? Is it a relationship that you're not happy in? Is it a job that you're not progressing in, and that you're meant for so much more? Is it friends who don't really understand you on a deep sort of spiritual awareness level? Anything like that, where you are dimming yourself to fit into a situation that doesn't feel amazing to you, that doesn't feel good, that doesn't serve you for your highest good. You are completely depleting your energy. You are wasting your energy. That energy could be better utilized being creative with your life, and doing the things that actually light you up. So be really, really, really honest with yourselves and think, what am I clinging on to for fear of nothing coming and taking its place? Now, anything that you write down on the page, I highly suggest that you do write this down. I want you to let that go. If you're clinging on to something out of fear, that is the surest sign evermore that thing or person or place or decision or habit needs to go. It has to go, because you need to make space for the new you to emerge. Also, sometimes we have to go through what I like to call a season of separation with those around us. Maybe you take on other people's opinions too easily, and so you do things out of people pleasing. You really want to strengthen your relationship with your higher self, and then you want to sort of separate yourself from everybody else and stop going to everybody for advice on your life all of the time. You want to start going to your highest self for advice and trusting your intuition. This is what I mean about developing a relationship with your highest self and stepping into your higher power. It means that you withdraw your energy from relying on everybody else, maybe going to your parents for advice, maybe always going to your girlfriends for advice, maybe just doing everything to please everybody else because it's the easiest option. No, we actually go through a season of separation. We withdraw our energy from, you know, everybody around us, and we go inwards, and we start to develop this relationship with ourselves, because your highest self and your highest power, which is what you have access to inside of you, knows all of the answers. She's not going to lead you astray. She actually knows what is best for you, if only you would take the time to listen to what she's saying. And that's what meditation and journaling and daily reflection and all of these things allows you to do. It gives you the space to pay attention, hear what she's saying, hear what your highest self wants you to know, and follow that. So yeah, honestly, you're amazing. Your mindset is exactly what I need. Well, Emily, this takes consistent action every single day. Like I said, every single day I do mindset work. Every single day I read certain books. Every single day I am consciously aware, you know, trying to be as consciously aware of my thoughts and of my habits and behavior patterns as I can, and try to eliminate, you know, any sort of fear-based decisions so that I'm always moving in the right direction. But if I give up my job, it's hard to get money, etc. I've got 3 children. Exactly. And I'm not saying you have to go and give up your job right now, but that doesn't stop you from exploring other options whilst you're in work and being creative and putting yourself out there, following whatever it is that you desire to do, and trusting that everything will figure itself out. There will always be a way. The universe works in mysterious ways. We don't need to be able to see the whole step in order to the whole staircase, in order to start knowing like how we're going to get from A to B. We don't need to understand that journey. We just need to know where we're headed, and everything unfolds naturally as you go along. I hope that helps. For me, getting myself to LA, I had no idea how I was going to get myself here. It was a journey that unfolded naturally, and one that only unfolded day by day. I didn't know the journey that I was going to go on to create this business, the people who I was going to meet, the directions it was going to pull me in, the places it was going to take me to. Everything unfolded because I just kept putting one foot in front of the other, one day at a time, and following what lights me up, which I'll get to now. So, girls, step 1 right now, identify anything that you are clinging on to out of fear and let it go, okay? Loosen your grip, let it go. Make space for the new you to enter. There's no way that this highest version of yourself is going to enter or be able to lead the way if you are still so desperately clinging on to everything that you need to let go of, okay? Now, the second thing I want you to do, which cultivates this relationship with your higher power, with your highest self, is to start filling yourself up and setting clear boundaries. So it's something that I've touched on briefly a minute ago. So by filling yourself up, what I mean is doing things that you love for you because you love it. Treating yourself to things that you like to treat yourself to because it makes you feel good. Start to fill yourself up. You've spent so much time already wasting energy on maybe people, places, circumstances that don't serve you. Now is your time to start filling yourself up. Now that you've made space for, you know, new things to enter, withdrawn your energy from everybody around you, go through, you know, a season of separation, just start to pay attention to yourself. Stop relying so heavily on everybody else to help you with your life. Start to go inwards, ask yourself what it is that you would like. Now you want to fill yourself up. So for me, filling myself up is like doing things that I love just because I love to do it. So for me, travel makes me happy. Meeting new people makes me happy. Going to the coffee shop and getting a coffee fills me up. It makes me feel good. So if I get a feel good feeling from that, then I'm going to keep doing that. I want to do more of the things that make me feel good for me. reading an empowering book makes me feel good, so I'm going to continue to do that. Find what it is that fills you up and go do more of that for you as a little gift to yourself. And then secondly, you want to set clear boundaries with everybody around you. So know that it's okay to say no to things that you truly don't desire to do. So for example, if somebody asks you to go somewhere and you don't actually want to go, but you feel obliged and you feel like you have to say yes because this person's going to be offended or upset in any way if you say no, just know that it's actually worse for both of you energetically if you just say yes to people please. Number one, it's going to drain your energy. And number two, you're not even going to enjoy it whilst you're there. So know that it's okay to say no to things that you actually don't want to do. So start saying more yes to the things that you want to do. Say yes to the things you love. Say yes to, new opportunities. Say yes to growth. And start saying no to things that you actually don't want to do. Start saying no to people that you don't want to be around. Start listening to yourself. If you get a bad feeling or an uncomfortable feeling or a drained feeling being around a certain person or event or place or job, it's okay to say no to these things. Pay attention to the energies that are going on inside of you. And say yes to the things that feel good on the inside and start saying no to the things that don't. Pay attention to what's going on inside. Now, thirdly, now that you've detoxed your life, you've made space for the new people to enter, the new opportunities, the new things to enter, and you're feeling good because you're filling yourself up and you're setting boundaries. The next thing that I want you all to do is to start revealing your true self to those around you. Now, a huge thing that I see with clients of mine, and I know it was something that I struggled with as well, is that fear of revealing your true self to those around you because you're scared of them laughing at you, you're scared of losing people, you're scared of people thinking that you're crazy or whatever it is. And the truth is that the longer you hide your true self, the longer you're just dimming your light to fit in, and the longer you're going to suffer being in the presence of people who aren't even on the same vibe as you, who don't even understand you on that level. The sooner you can be brave enough to start revealing your true self, speaking about what it is you actually care about, speaking what it is that you actually believe in, then the sooner you're going to live a more fulfilling life. Because you're going to be able to have conversations, experiences with people who are totally on the same vibe as you, totally on the same energy as you. And when that energy meets, it's electric. So you don't need to be spending time in situations anymore, having conversations that don't fill you up because they're not with the right people. It doesn't mean that they're bad people or the wrong people. There's no right or wrong. It just means they're not your people. You want to find your people. So when I first started all of this stuff, like I said, I had a huge life detox. It meant that I lost friends, relationships, jobs, circumstances. My life went back to my version of rock bottom, ground zero, everyone. Like absolutely started my life over, and it was absolutely petrifying. But it was also the greatest opportunity to build myself up, using rock bottom, ground zero as my strong foundation to really recreate myself from the ground up. And part of that journey was me revealing my true self to people around me. Like, for example, there was once upon a time I wouldn't even share with people the books that I was reading because it's like, oh, people might think I'm mad. They don't believe in any of this stuff. So I was dimming myself down. Maybe you're doing that now. And then, when I say reveal your true self to those around you, that's what I mean. Is like, how can you be more of yourself unapologetically, not dimming yourself in to fit in with everybody else, but actually you being your true self in any situation. So tell people about the books that you're reading. Tell people about the things that you believe in. The right people will always stick with you on the journey, the people who are meant to grow and evolve and expand with you. Anybody who doesn't and anybody who falls away, there doesn't need to be a bad feeling about that. It doesn't need to be considered a loss. It doesn't need to be considered anything. It's just they're no longer on your vibration. They're no longer meant to accompany you on this journey. You're making space for new people to enter. So when I first started this, like I said, I basically had absolutely nothing and no one apart from like my close family. So the whole reason I started the Soul Savvy Tribe, which is my Facebook community, which I have now, and started hosting meetups for like-minded girls, was because I was simply exploring new avenues. I was looking for my people. I was finding my tribe. I didn't want to go through this journey alone anymore. I thought there must be other girls out there who believe in the same things that I believe in, who resonate with me on this sort of deep spiritual level. And rather than me sit at home and be like, oh, nobody's like me, I'm so different to everyone, I thought, no, I am going to find my tribe. And so that is something that I would highly recommend you do as well, is find your tribe, girls, because that is the quickest way that you're going to start to grow and expand as well. And I'll touch upon more of that in tomorrow's training, which is awakening the most confident version of yourself. But today, what I really, really, really wanted to share is the difference between the ego self and the higher self, and really highlight to you that you actually do have these two like energies going on inside of you every single day. You are always facing this internal struggle between your ego self and your higher self, and your ego self will always win, girls, unless you start to cultivate this relationship with your highest self. So that is how we do that. That is how we strengthen the relationship with our highest self, is we don't cling on to things out of fear. We trust, we let things go, we make space for new things to enter. We don't hide in the shadows no more, girls. We reveal our true selves to who we are, as to who we are with those around us, trusting that the right people will join us on this journey and the wrong people will fall away. Again, we don't need to cling to relationships, friendships, or jobs out of this belief that nothing better is going to come to fill its space. We actually want to be in a constant review of our life and constantly making space. It's a constant like in and out type of energy. And I do this all of the time now, where the old part of me clung on to things for so long and didn't make any space for anybody new to enter or for any new opportunities to enter. I am now in a constant reflection process of everything. Like I monitor everything in my life. I weigh up every decision that I make, every person that I meet. Is this person on my vibration, on my energy? Are they going to elevate me or are they going to drain me? And I'm in this constant reflection process. And anybody who is going to elevate me can stick around, of course. Anybody who does not feel good to me, anybody who I feel is going to drain me, they have to go. Like, we have to be in this constant making space for the new to enter. And of course, it's been like 2 years for me now, so I'm not afraid to come out and be on a Facebook Live and tell people all the things that I believe in these days and just be my real, true, authentic self with absolutely everybody that I meet. But that comes with time, girls. There was a time when I was so scared to even share my Facebook page, to even tell someone that I was reading a certain book. Like, I was absolutely petrified. So don't think that because you watch me on these videos and think, oh my God, she's got it all figured out, she's so confident now and she's not afraid, it's okay for her because, you know, she's not bothered. I was bothered. I remember the day that I clicked share on my Facebook page, I was physically shaken. Like, I felt sick. I was like, oh my God, like, I'm about to put something on the internet that people have got the right to judge, basically. And I was so scared of like what was going to get said and what people were going to think of me. But in all honesty, the minute I did actually be my real, true, authentic self, there was actually nothing to fear. All I have ever received is positive feedback. And that fills me up. That makes me feel amazing, because it's what I believe I am here to do, is to help, is to inspire, and is to be a source of light and a source of energy for anybody who is struggling right now. So if you feel like that as well, girls, if you feel like you have an empowering message to share, if you feel like you're here, you're meant for so much more on this world, in this world, you need to follow that, and you need to be brave enough to start sharing these beliefs with the people around you, because your tribe can't find you if you aren't being your true self. Your tribe can't find you if you are hiding behind a version of yourself that is no longer you. You have to know how to step into your higher power. You have to start being your true self. Unapologetically, just be you, girls. So I really do hope you've enjoyed day one of the training, Align and Glow. These are the exact principles that I have my exclusive one-to-one clients do. So I'm not hiding anything. I'm sharing everything that I would teach them. I'm sharing everything that has helped me transform my life over 2 years. And tomorrow I will be back with day 2, which is how to awaken the most inner confident version of yourself. So do join me for that tomorrow. If you do have any questions at all, throw them in the comments box, and I will definitely answer them as soon as I can. So I'm going to try and end both of these now, girls. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, whatever you're doing, and don't forget to share this training with anybody who needs to hear it. Tag anyone who needs to hear this. And just above this video, if you are watching this on Facebook, if you're not, head over to Facebook. There is a link, girls, for my Show Up and Shine program, which is launching soon. We're still in pre-sale at the moment. It's not officially launched, but if you would like to know more about that and save yourself some money whilst working with me as well, then do click the link above my Facebook video, girls, and book a call in with me. I would absolutely love to talk to you some more this week. So have a gorgeous day, girls.